We're back in the fantasy bar talking some NBA. Huge slate of games here on this Wednesday night. Got 6 of my favorite plays for you, as always, on FanDuel and DraftKings, including some of my favorite value plays, some guys I think are underpriced for their current role, some injury situations we're going to want to capitalize on, and a beast of the night I think is vastly underpriced right now. Who we talking about? Only one way to find out. It's time to belly up to the fantasy bar. Welcome in, guys. Wednesday edition, Bears Daily Fantasy Six-Pack, talking some hoops here. 6 of my favorite plays for you on FanDuel and DraftKings. Thank you, as always, for stopping by the Fantasy Bar and checking out today's video. Before we get to today's plays, hit that tip jar. Only takes a second. If you enjoy the content, you hate the content, whatever brought you here, please take a second, click that thumbs up button. Thank you for that. Subscribe, hit that notification bell. Going to give away another free week of RotoGrinders Premium coming up at the end of the video. All right, let's get into things here. Before we get started, 2 separate slates on DraftKings and FanDuel. FanDuel has included some of the late games. DraftKings cut them off. We're going to give you 6 plays that are available on both sites to give love to both our DraftKings players as well as our FanDuel players. All right, let's get started with a guy we had on Monday, going right back to the well on point guard, Tre Jones. Now, the prices went up here. I still don't think they're high enough here on Tre Jones. Without Kobe White, he is going to play a big role for the Chicago Bulls team. So continue to buy low here. Gone over 40 DraftKings points in each of the last 2 games. So do the math. Very simple, 6-7x return here on these numbers, even at these elevated salaries. 8 assists now in every single game this season. So really playing a big role in this backcourt here. Chicago, nice 121.5 point total in this one. Great spot here against the Sacramento Kings, who are bottom 10 in the NBA defensive efficiency. Tre Jones going to continue to be in my lineups as long as he stays at these prices. All right, let's get some value at small forward, power forward with Ron Holland of Detroit. Now, this one comes with a little bit of risk, but I like the upside we can get here out of Ron Holland. Has a nice rotational role here for the Detroit Pistons. We have Ausar Thompson listed as questionable here, left that last game. So if he's out, that's even more on the plate here for Ron Holland. Even if Thompson plays, I still think there's good value here as he's getting a nice shot volume in this Detroit offense, averaging almost 9 shots per game, has already showed us a nice ceiling so far early on here in the season and really hitting every single category. Yes, he's scoring, but he's getting it done in multiple ways. 4 more rebounds now in 3 of the 4 games for Detroit, multiple steals as well in 3 of the 4. So lots of paths here to rack up fantasy points for Ron Holland. If Thompson's in, still like him. Thompson's out, and you give him a big boost, and he becomes one of the best values on the board here for Wednesday night. All right, let's go to shooting guard next with Cam Thomas of Brooklyn. Now, another good buy low here, coming off a tough game, and that was against Houston, as we know, one of the best defenses in all of basketball. Now he gets a spot against the Atlanta Hawks, who are not one of the best defenses in all of basketball. And we're getting a nice price here over on DraftKings at $6,800. First time he's been under $7,000 this season, down $500 from his last game. I know he struggled, didn't struggle that much that this price should drop that far, and it is down $800 now from opening night. This guy's got a couple games already with over 20 shot attempts. So Brooklyn, void of offense. He's going to continue to be a chucker here, and a good spot here, as we mentioned, against Atlanta. It's not just the defense, it's the pace. Atlanta plays at the 3rd highest pace in all of basketball early on in the season, 19th in defensive efficiency so far this season. Great spot here to bounce back in a big way for Cam Thomas. All right, let's go to point guard here with some value in Ray J. Dennis of Indiana. Now, I know there's at least a handful out there watching that said, who in the hell is Ray J. Dennis? This is a Indiana team that is absolutely decimated by injury right now. So you are really going to want to get to know these secondary pieces on the Indiana Pacers. I think multiple Pacers in your lineups tonight makes a ton of sense here. But Indiana, as we know, Halliburton obviously out, but no Mathurin, no Nembhard, no Toppin, no TJ McConnell. I could list 3 other names that are also out tonight. So they're going to be running the skeleton crew here. And Dennis is really taking advantage of his opportunity, averaging 27.5 minutes per game over the last 2, and gave you a nice 10x return. Yes, he was $3K, but even at these current salaries, when the price went up, would still be an 8x return on this $3,800 number. So with as banged up as they are, I think Dennis is going to continue to play a big role. This price is only going to go up if these injuries are long-term. So get in here while you can. He will have some ownership. It's a cash game lock, and even in tournaments, I want some exposure to save some money with Ray J. Dennis. All right, let's go to the other side of that game and spend some money at power forward and center with AD, Anthony Davis. So we talked about the injuries here. This Pacers team is undermanned right now, and I think Davis is going to absolutely decimate this interior tonight. Isaiah Jackson probably gets a couple fouls in the first 3 to 4 minutes of this game. Just think Davis is going to be able to do whatever he wants here in this game, and he has done that in all 4 games this season. Double-doubles in every single game here, and a guy that hits all 5 statistical categories. And I don't think we've seen the best of Anthony Davis. We've gotten 40s, we've gotten 50s. I think this is the spot where he could go for 60. You worry about the blowout a little bit. Only a 6.5-point spread in this one. It's not like Dallas has been world beater. So as banged up as Indiana is, I still think they can hang in this game, get you correlation with some of the Indiana exposure that you're going to have in your lineups. And we have a nice total here as well at 228.5. Anthony Davis, a priority spend for me here on this Wednesday night slate. All right, it's time. Take a look at my favorite play for Wednesday night. Before we do that, let's give away another free week of RotoGrinders Premium with our Beast of the Night contest. Very easy to play. You know the drill by now. Make sure you've hit that tip jar with that thumbs up button. Head to the comment section here on YouTube and guess fantasy points on DraftKings for my Beast of the Night. Your guess is the closest. Simple as that. You're going to walk away with a free week of RotoGrinders Premium simply for coming out and hanging out at the fantasy bar. All right, let's wrap things up with my favorite play for Wednesday night. You know, man, it's the Beast of the Night. All right, Beast time. We're going to stay in that Indiana-Dallas game, go back to the Pacers side with Pascal Siakam, tonight's Beast of the Night. So we're going to get a lot of value out of Indiana, but we're also going to get a lot of usage here for Pascal Siakam. This offense is simply going to have to flow through him here on this slate and moving forward, and the salaries have just not caught up to that yet at $8,400, even on FanDuel at $9,200. I think there's still plenty of meat left on this bone here, and he showed us what this can look like against a much tougher Minnesota defense and what he's going to see tonight against the Dallas Mavericks, going for 33, 10, and 8, over 60 DraftKings points in that spot against Minnesota. Dallas giving up 118 points per game so far to open up the season, 21st in defensive efficiency, and they have struggled against bigs, both power forwards and centers early on. Bottom 5 in fantasy points allowed to each of those positions. An absolute smash spot here. In my opinion, Pascal Siakam, probably a 10K player with all the injuries. You're getting a great buy low here in a great matchup. Pascal Siakam, easily my favorite play on the board in tonight's Beast of the Night. All right, guys, that'll do it for our Wednesday video. As always, any comments, questions, feedback, anything you guys want to talk about, you can hit me up either here in YouTube in the comment section or over on Twitter at Beermakersfan. Get your guess in. How many points does Pascal Siakam score on DraftKings? Your guess is the closest to that actual number. You win a free week of RotoGrinders Premium. Tonight, Grinders Live, 5 Eastern, and I'll be back on Crunch Time at 6:15 Eastern, going through every single position on both FanDuel and DraftKings, giving you our favorite plays, and most importantly, taking all of your last-minute questions and lineup decisions. Make sure you join both shows here tonight over on RotoGrinders and also on YouTube. For RotoGrinders.com, I am Beer saying salut, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Best of luck tonight, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for checking out our videos. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more DraftKings, FanDuel, and other DFS content. And you can check out our daily live show schedule on RotoGrinders.com/videos.